day, beautiful people. Top of the day. It is the beginning of another week. We are here. We are here. We are here. Tiffany, hey girl, hey. Betwabu, yeah, Betwabu. All right, y'all. It is Monday, March the 9th, 2020, day 92. We are in 2 Samuel 10, 11, and 12. Somebody gonna be naked on the roof today. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, chill. All right. Okay, last chapter kind of long, 31 verses, but we should be done about 10, 15 minutes, y'all. Okay. All right. 2 Samuel chapter 10. And it came to pass after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his stead. Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanun the son of Nahash, and his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants for his father. And David's servants came into the land of the children of Ammon. And the princes of the children of Ammon said unto Hanun their lord, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters unto thee? Hath not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city, and to spy it out, and to overthrow it? Wherefore Hanun took David's servants, and shaved off one half of their beards, and cut off their garments in the middle, even unto their buttocks, and sent them away. When they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Tarry yet at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. And when the children of Ammon saw that they stank before David, the children of Ammon sent and hired the Syrians of Beth-rehob and the Syrians of Zobah 20,000 footmen, and the kings of Makkah 1,000 men, and of Ishtob 12,000 men. Betwabu, Trina, Betwabu. When 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 7. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the hosts of the mighty men. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array at the entering of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah and Rehob and Ishtob and Makkah were by themselves in the field. And when Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and behind, he chose all the choice men of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered into the hand of Abishai his brother, that he might pull them in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come and help thee. Be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people and for the cities of our God. And Yahuwah do that which seemeth him good. And Joab drew nigh, and the people that were with him, unto the battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him. And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, then they fled before Abishai and entered into the city. So Joab returned from the children of Ammon and came to Jerusalem. And when the Syrians saw that they were smitten before Israel, they gathered themselves together. And Hadad-Ezer sent and brought out the Syrians that were beyond the river. And they came to Halam, and Shobak, the captain of the host of Hadadezer, went before them. And when it was told David, he gathered all of Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Halam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David, and they fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel, and David slew the men of 700 chariots of the Syrians, 40,000 horsemen, and smote Shobak, the captain of their host, who died there. And when all the kings that were servants to Hadad-Ezer saw that they were smitten before Israel, they made peace with Israel and served them, so that the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon anymore. Oh my gosh, my mouth just got so dry. Guys, oh my God, it almost killed me to finish that. I'm so sorry. Okay. Good morning, Auntie. So I'm on day 21 of my water fast. And so what's been keeping me motivated the whole way through, y'all, I've been watching a lot of fasting videos. Betwabu, Alicia, Betwabu. But I noticed as the days go on, I was like, I must have been really dehydrated, because my body is just soaking up the water. I'm going to the bathroom a lot, But since our kidneys can only process like 1 liter of water per hour, I'm careful with how much water I'm drinking so I don't overdo it. But what I realized, I was listening to a certified doctor. He's a holistic doctor and everything. Dr. Lauren Lockman. He's really good. He's really, really good. He's like the Caucasian Dr. Sebi, right? So I was looking at a lot of his stuff because he does a lot of water fasting. I look at Dr. Sebi, but for the water fast, and I look at his stuff a lot, right? And so he was saying we do not control where our body sends the water, so but my mouth is getting extra dry, so I figure, okay, apparently all this water is going somewhere that need to be hydrated, and if you water fast, it's not weird that you stop having bowel movements. Most people, when they water fast, they don't begin to have bowel movements until they're done, because the water is going to your colon after it hydrates everything else first that it deems necessary in order, or whatever the body thinks. It'll begin sending the water to your colon and rehydrating the old material that's been sitting in your body for years and years and years. So when people do have a bowel movement, I'm not going to make this sound nasty, but when they do have a bowel movement, what comes out is what the body has rehydrated the whole time you were fasting, and it looks like completely black. That's happened before when I did it before, but I only did like I think I only did like 12 days of water fast, and like the 10th day, it happened to me. But they call it mucoid plaque, right? So that's what comes out of it, is literally death sitting in your body. So that's where all the water goes to. But I don't know. And I don't know, maybe the braces, I feel like the brace, because it's a foreign material in my body, my mouth be like super dry. It's like it sucks all the moisture. I don't know if my body is trying to kick the braces out or what. But it's crazy. And I realized, you probably knew this, but all water is not the same. I realized I cannot drink Dasani water. It literally makes me more thirsty. Like, I can drink it, and it will, it'll literally make my whole body dry. I can literally tell the difference because it's been so long since I eat anything, and I've only been consuming water. But I didn't realize that because I started the fast off drinking alkaline 8.8 water. And it has like a little Himalayan salt or whatever minerals in it. I was drinking it, but when I ran out of that, we had some bottles of Dasani. But I had noticed immediately that the Dasani water literally dried me out. I was like, this is crazy. This is water. Why is it doing that? So, but I had to stop drinking it. Like, I couldn't swallow it. So I went back, and that's what I filled my bottle with, the alkaline 8.8. Well, it's crazy. So as the body's correcting itself, but y'all, I just had to stop for a second because I could not read anymore. I don't know, I felt like dust was about to come out of my mouth, and I've been drinking water throughout the night and stuff. When I get up with this, it's weird, y'all. But I'm still kicking. I'm still alive. Day 21 with nothing but water, y'all. But seriously, I feel good. It's just this. You go through the different phases. Betwabu, you go through the different phases of your body cleansing, then your tongue begins to cleanse, and broke out with another pimple yesterday. I'm like, okay, we almost done. We got 19 days left. Yes, sis, yes, keep going. So, but it's really good, y'all. I could really tell the difference as I begin to clean my body out. And it's horrible. I will never drink it again. I could literally feel the effects of my body. So I don't know. And I've heard too, I think they had some, I think they said Dasani, they came, I think it's a Coca-Cola product, they came out and just said it was really tap water. And that's probably why. I don't know. It's crazy. So, but yeah. I'm going to take another sip and I'm going to finish reading, y'all. I'm going to go off, but I just could not read anymore. Yeah, okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm at this phase now where I need more water. It's hydrating, something else in my body. I don't know, but my mouth just got extremely, extremely dry. Okay, 2 more chapters, y'all. 2 Samuel chapter 11. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when the kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servant with him and all of Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman and said, Is this not Bathsheba, the daughter of Elam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she was returned to her house. And the woman conceived and sent and told David and said, I am with child. And David sent to Joab, saying, Send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was coming to David, David demanded of him, of how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. And David said to Uriah, Go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went down not to his house. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went down not to his house, David said to Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down into thine house? And Uriah said unto David, The ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and thy servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go down into my house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. And David said to Uriah, Tarry here today also and tomorrow, and I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and on the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drank before him, and he made him drunk. And at evening he went out to lie on his bed with his servants of his lord, but went not down to his house. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote letters to Joab, and sent it by the hand of Uriah, taking his own death letter. And he wrote in the letter, saying, Set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye him, that he may be smitten and die. And it came to pass, when Joab observed the city, that he assigned Uriah unto a place where he knew the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the servants of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, When thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be the king's wrath arise, and he say unto thee, Wherefore approacheth ye so nigh unto the city that ye did fight? Know ye not that they would shoot thee from the wall? Who smote Abimelech the son of Jerubbaal? Did not a woman cast a piece of millstone upon him from the wall, that he died in Thebez? Why went ye nigh the wall? Then say thou, Thy servant Uriah the Hittite is also dead. And so the messenger went and came and showed David all that Joab had sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, Surely the men prevailed against us, and came unto us into the field, and were upon them in the evening, unto the entering of the gate. And the shooters shot from off the wall upon thy servants, and some of the king's servants be dead, and thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Then David said unto the messengers, Thus shalt thou say unto Joab, Let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devoureth one as well as another. Make thy battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah her husband was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife, and bare him a son. But the thing that David did had displeased Yahuwah. Last chapter for the day, y'all. 2 Samuel chapter 12. And Yahuwah sent Nathan unto David. And he came unto him and said, There were 2 men in one city, one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he bore and nourished up, and it grew up together with him, with his children. And it did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, As Yahuwah liveth, that man that hath done this thing shall surely die, and he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, Thou art the man. Thus saith Yahuwah, the God of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and I gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would have moreover given unto thee such and such things. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of Yahuwah to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with a sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thy own house, and I will take thy wives before thy eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this sun. For thou did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all of Israel and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahuwah. And Nathan said unto David, Yahuwah has also put away thy sin, thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because this deed thou hast done has given great occasion to the enemies of Yahuwah to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. And Nathan departed unto his house, and Yahuwah struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. And David therefore besought Yahuwah for the child, and David fasted and went in and lay all night upon the earth. And the elders of his house arose and went in unto him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them. And it came to pass on the seventh day that the child died. And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead, for they said, Behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice. How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead? But when David saw that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead. And therefore David said unto his servants, Is the child dead? And they said, He is dead. Then David arose from the earth, and washed and anointed himself, and changed his apparel, and came into the house of Yahuwah and worshipped, and then came into his own house. And when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat. Then said his servants unto him, What thing is this that thou hast done, that thou didst fast and weep for the child, while it was yet alive? But when the child was dead, thou didst rise and eat bread? And he said, While the child was alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, Who can tell whether God will be gracious unto me, that the child may live? But now that he is dead, wherefore should I fast? Can I bring him back again? I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me. And David comforted Bathsheba his wife, and went in unto her, and lay with her, and she bare a son, and called his name Solomon, and Yahuwah loved him. And he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet, and called his name Jedediah, because of Yahuwah. Did y'all know that? Did y'all remember that? Solomon's name was Jedediah, but they called him Solomon. And Joab fought against Rabbah, the children of Ammon, and took the royal city. And Joab sent messengers to David, and said, I have fought against Rabbah, and have taken the city of waters. Now therefore gather the rest of the people together, and encamp against the city, and take it, lest I take the city, and it be called after my name. And David gathered all the people together, and went to Rabbah, and fought against it, and took it, and took the king's crown off his head, and the weight of it was a talent of gold, with the precious stones of it, and it was set on David's head. And he brought forth the spoil of the city in great abundance. And when he brought forth the people that were therein, and put them under saws, and under harrows of iron, and under axes of iron, and made them to pass through the brick kiln, and thus did he unto all the cities of the children of Ammon. So David and all the people returned unto Jerusalem. That, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. 2 Samuel 10, 11, and 12. It is Monday, March the 9th, 2020, day 92. With that being said, let's go ahead and get about our day. The blessing is found in Numbers chapter 6, 22 through 27. May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May he lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. All right, beautiful people, I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the morning. Peace.